You're listening to the Murder Speaks podcast, the show that spills the tea about true crime. Here's your host, Wendy Hinbest.
Hey, welcome back to Murder Speaks. I hope everyone's having a great week. So today's real crime story is about 17-year-old Stacy DeGrandchamp of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Stacy Maria DeGrandchamp was born to Rita Kay in Fort Wayne in Allen County, Indiana, on October 29, 1984. Stacy grew up as an only child. Her mom was a single mom. According to her friend, Sarah Patterson, Stacy was beautiful and confident, and she was a junior at Wayne High School, and she loved playing volleyball. Now, according to her cousin, Jamie McMillan, Stacy always dressed immaculately, and she was popular in high school. Now, after high school, Stacy had planned to attend Ball State University and study computer technology. Now, in the spring of 2002, she met 20-year-old Brandon Muff at a house party. He was a bad boy, and she started hanging out with his friends. Holly Boisvert, Whitney McGehee, and Amanda Richards were all really good friends. Now, there was friction between Holly and Stacy because of something that happened in middle school. So you're planning to hang out with some friends or go to the gym, and you don't know what to wear, and you're so bored of all of your clothes. This is why Crystal Kiss offers a wicked selection of true crime merch to bring your wardrobe to life. From hoodies, leggings, and t-shirts to joggers, crop tops, and tank tops, Crystal Kiss has you covered. Make a fashion statement with Crystal Kiss. Check out crystalkiss.com today. Back in the 8th grade, they were all at Holly's house, and Stacy had her feet in the water. And Holly made some sort of comment, like making fun of her about the way she was splashing her feet or something. That's so petty. And Holly thought that Stacy was acting like a princess or something. So Stacy left the party. Now, Holly was a mean girl. But in high school, Stacy and Holly were cordial. Turns out Holly previously dated Brandon Muff, but then they became friends. Now, it's possible that maybe Holly became jealous that Stacy and Brandon were dating. Stacy and Holly did not like each other, and Whitney felt like she was in the middle. Then Whitney became upset with Stacy because she heard that Stacy was talking behind her back.
Stacy, this is Whitney. You need to quit telling lies. When you do this, you do need to get a hold of me because otherwise some people are looking for you.
And of course, Holly was there to fuel the fire. Holly wanted everybody to be mad at Stacy. And apparently, Holly was spreading negative rumors about Stacy. And Stacy's relationship with Brandon was beginning to fall apart. Now, there were a few weeks left before the start of senior year. So Stacy decided to break up with Brandon, and she stopped hanging out with him and his friends. However, Stacy remained friends with Abby Oswald. Abby was a friend of Brandon's. Abby and Brandon were friends before Stacy and Abby became friends. Stacy met Abby through Brandon. On August 15th, 2002, Stacy and Abby went to the mall so Stacy can pick out her senior year picture outfit. Later that day, Abby asks Stacy to go to a party. It was in a rundown neighborhood on Guthrie Street. It's where Brandon lived with his roommate Justin. Stacy didn't want to go to the party because she thought that maybe Holly and Whitney would be there. But Abby swore that they wouldn't be there, and she would not take no for an answer. So eventually, Stacy agreed to go to the party. Now, it was about 9:30 p.m. when Abby pulled up in the driveway with Stacy. Whitney and Amanda Richards weren't there. They were hanging out with another group of friends. But Holly was with them, and she wanted to go to that party. So they drove over there and dropped Holly off at the party. Holly was supposed to page Whitney and Amanda when she was ready to go home. And if she didn't page them, then they would just go pick her up. Whitney and Amanda never received a text from Holly. So they drove over there around 11:30. And when they pulled up to the house, there were police and ambulance everywhere. Abby told police that she and Brandon were sitting on the front porch. And when Stacy saw Holly, she said, "What is she doing here?" So Holly and Stacy have a verbal argument. And then they start fighting. Physically fighting. Stacy was beating up Holly. Then Brandon pulled Stacy off Holly and she landed on some recycling bins. Stacy got up and started walking, and then she just collapsed to the ground. If you're looking for true crime merch with a great fit and feel, look no further. Crystal Kiss has a wide selection of clothes to brighten up your wardrobe. I like to wear clothes that make a fashion statement and says something about me. Like, our true crime and chocolate design describes me very well. I love chocolate and I love watching true crime, so they go hand in hand. Our hoodies are so soft and can be paired with one of our true crime joggers to make a super comfy outfit. Our true crime t-shirts fits true to size and last several washes. For a night out, throw on a pair of heels with one of our true crime leggings and a crop top. Whatever you're doing, Crystal Kiss has you covered. You people in the US get free shipping when you order 3 or more items. You can also use discount code MURDER15, that's MURDER15, and save 15% off your entire order. Check out our wicked selection of true crime merch today at crystalkiss.com. Her bra was saturated with blood. She was bleeding from her chest. Unfortunately, she passed away in the hospital. And Holly and Brandon were taken to the police station. The police got a search warrant and went into the residence, but they didn't find any weapons. Stacy sustained a stab wound to her chest and abdomen. Brandon called Stacy's mom, so her mom Rita goes to the hospital. Holly talked to police.
And as soon as I stepped out the door, Stacy turned around and started screaming at me. And she grabbed my hair and pulled me across the yard.
Did you tell me that hurt? When you see her back, what her hair and things like that? You weren't saying this at all?
I couldn't. At that point, she was hitting me so hard in my head that I couldn't see.
And what happened after that?
Then, Brandon had to bring the brother my ankle.
They also interviewed Brandon.
The fight needed to stop, so I stepped in and I grabbed Stacy by her ankle, not realizing how strong or how hard I was pulling on her. I yanked her, and she basically got thrown behind me into the recycling bin and all the stuff on the ground.
Now, Holly and Brandon told police that Stacy probably cut herself on something in the recycling bin, like glass or something. But the police searched the recycling bin, and there was not any glass in the recycling bins at all. Stacy was laid to rest August 19th, 2002. She was buried in her senior year outfit that she was supposed to take pictures in. Surprisingly, Brandon Muff was at her funeral, but he was not invited, and nobody hung out with Holly after Stacy's death. Now, there were people that said that Whitney had something to do with Stacy's murder because of the voicemail that she left for her. The police thought maybe it was a trap, that Brandon trapped her because she broke up with him. And maybe Abby had something to do with it because she was insisting that Stacy go to that party. So police spoke to Abby. She told police that she had nothing to do with it and that she tried to break up the fight. Justin told police that Brandon said that Holly didn't do anything and that Stacy just fell. Nobody came forward to say they saw anything, so the police could not make an arrest. December 12th, 2002, Brandon was interviewed by police. He said he's not a snitch, and nobody came forward to say they saw anything. Years passed, and Stacy's cousin, Jamie McMillan, reached out to police. She reached out to Detective Martin, and Detective Martin reopened the case in 2019. Detective Martin talked to Abby. She said she never saw Holly with a weapon.
Let me ask you this. At any time did you see Holly with a knife?
No, I never saw a weapon. That's why this is so hard. And why talk?
You just thought it was like a fight in the yard, and then all of a sudden this happens.
Yeah, and like her mom, you know, when we were talking after the fact, they wanted me to say I saw a weapon or I know something, but I can't sit here and say I saw a weapon, I saw a knife when I didn't.
He talked to Brandon, and he said he didn't see Holly with a knife. April 29th, 2019, the detective spoke to 33-year-old Holly Boisford. She kept saying that her and Stacy were friends, but everybody knew that they didn't like each other. Detective Martin found that very odd.
Nothing makes sense about the whole thing.
How so?
Everybody there, we were all friends.
But you and Stacy had kind of had a little beef going on because of Brandon.
It was so stupid.
I agree. It was like one of those just petty high school girl things, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so...
I know everybody says that I did something to her. I know that they blame me. She was my friend. We were terrible teenage girls, but she was still my friend. I would not have done that to her intentionally. I never would have pulled a knife on her. We were terrible bitches to each other, but she was still my friend. I didn't expect that we were gonna fight.
Do you recall, did you have your pocket knife with you that day?
I didn't even have it with me. Like, if it was there, it was in my bag. It's not like I would walk around holding it.
Have you seen it recently? Do you have it now?
He asked her if she still had the knife, and she did. So she gave the knife to Detective Martin. Now, Stacy's DNA was not on the knife. However, the knife was consistent with the stab wounds that Stacy received. When Detective Martin visited Holly, she said,
I think I killed my best friend, and that's why you're here. If I had just walked away and not turned around, Stacy DeGrandchamp would still be alive.
March 25th, 2020, Holly was arrested by authorities in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, where she lived since 2011. One witness told police that before the fight, Holly said that Stacy was going to take a whipping tonight. And according to a witness, Holly changed her clothes. She changed into sweatpants and put her hair in a ponytail before confronting Stacy. The witness also claimed that Holly confessed to carrying around a knife to fight. He also alleged that Holly washed her hands after the stabbing, and he saw her put the knife in a car parked outside the house. Another witness said they pulled Stacy out of the fight before she took a few steps and fell to the ground. Her shirt was covered in blood, and it wasn't there before. She was fatally stabbed twice. November 12th, 2020, police spoke to Amanda Richards. Amanda Richards, who was in the car with Whitney and Holly, came forward.
So we got to the house that night, and before we got there, Holly always had a knife that she carried with her. Well, that night, she took the knife with her, and when we got there, she had me hold it in my purse.
Who was with you when you arrived? Was that you and Whitney and Holly?
Yes.
Okay.
So as Whitney and I were getting ready to leave, Holly asked me for the knife back. And I didn't think anything of it, so I gave it back to her.
Okay.
And as Whitney and I were pulling away from the house, Stacy pulled up.
Holly admitted to stabbing Stacy and took a plea deal. She pleaded guilty. On January 14th, 2020, she received a 25-year sentence with 5 years suspended and 3 years adult probation. She's currently at the Indiana's Women's Prison, and her inmate records state her earliest possible release date to be in March 2030. Wow, that's just crazy. For everyone out there who knew Stacy DeGrandchamp, I'm very sorry for your loss. Holly's exactly where she needs to be. Thank you so much for joining me on this week's episode of Murder Speaks. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Toodles!